So hello folks, finally our drawn liquidity on both Euro-USD and dollar index have reached. So let me re-explain this trade and I will show you, elaborate it once again. So guys, as my bias, you can see that here we are on the monthly time frame here, and you could see a bearish fair value gap on the Euro-USD chart on the monthly frame, and you can see that price tapped into this bearish fair value gap. So from this bearish fair value gap to this bullish fair value gap, IRL to IRL, that is bearish fair value gap to bullish fair value gap, is our higher time frame bias guys, monthly IRL to monthly IRL. So from this bearish fair value gap to this bullish fair value gap would be our bias guys. And on the dollar index chart you could see that, and on the dollar index chart guys, we do not have a monthly monthly bias. On the dollar index we had a weekly bias, right? So monthly RL to RL, and then the next thing is, so next is guys the SMT main thing. So this 23 February to this 13 April was our SMT. You can consider it weekly or daily, honestly guys, both of them work. So if we check the weekly SMT, here you can see that there is a bearish fair value gap on the Euro-USD which is being disrespected, and price made a buy side sweep. So what is this high guys? Green candle 1.18348, and what is this high? 1.18493, 348 and 493. You can see that here price disrespected is bearish weekly fair value gap and price made a buy side liquidity sweep. Whereas the same here you can see that this bullish fair value gap plus this volume imbalance is being respected on the DXY chart. You can see that here. So what is this candle slow? This red candles open high low 97.355, and you can see that here what is this low? 97.625. If you can see that here no candle reached down below this. So this bullish fair value gap plus this weekly volume imbalance is being respected here. Volume imbalance is this guys, is being respected on the DXY chart. Volume imbalance is nothing but having different opening price and closing price. So what was this close price? Open high low close 97.646. what is this open price? Open 646 and 874, 646 and 646 and 874. Open high low plus 646. Oh sorry guys, this is the bearish candle. So this would be the closing price and this would be the opening price. Eight seven four 646 here. So leave that guys, volume imbalance is this. And if we check on the daily chart also, there is an SMT here. So weekly volume imbalance was respected on the dollar index. Weekly volume imbalance plus this bullish fair value gap was respected by dollar index, whereas the same weekly bearish fair value gap was disrespected and price made a buy side liquidity sweep here. And on the daily also there is a SMT guys. If you don't like, if you are a beginner and you do not understand volume imbalance, like if you are a basic trader who has just started, you can see that on the daily this bearish fair value gap was disrespected and price made a buy side liquidity sweep here guys. Whereas the same, if we check on the dollar index, you can see that the same bullish fair value gap on the dollar index on the daily time frame is being respected here. You can see that perfectly. The bullish fair value gap is being respected here. As you can see that this is the low, and you can see that here it did not reach. You can see a tiny bit of it still lying down, guys. Tiny bit of it still lying down. That is, what is this low? Open high low 97.561. and what is this low? 561. and what is this low? So 6 1 high low 561. 561 and 632 are 100 points difference, guys. Almost a 60 to 70 pip difference. So you can see that this bullish fair value gap was respected by dollar index, whereas the same bearish fair value gap was disrespected and price made a buy side sweep. So this was the SMT, and after this the MSS, the market structure shift, I considered on DXY as this. Why did I consider it, guys? I have already told you why. Because you can see that here these candles so I have considered this as the market structure shift, guys. Why? Because you can see that here this was the last leg of the price, which was why did I consider this as the MSS? Because you can see that here, guys, what is this low? It is 632, and what is this low? It is 625. You can see that here. So this candle's liquidity was swept by this, and what was the last leg, which was high? This. So this would be considered a market structure shift. So why am I explaining this? Because we consider my MSS on euro here. If this candle's leg broke down, then it would be a proper market structure shift on euro, but we did not consider it. We considered this as this thing. Why? Because you can see that here on the daily time frame also this leg's liquidity was swept here. If I remove this, just a second, this liquidity was swept here. You can see that a tiny bit of it is going down. 625 is this candle's low, and this is 632. So this leg I would have considered market structure shift as this, but as it break down this candle's low 632 here by 625. Are you understanding, guys? This candle's low was broke here. 632 candle's leg low was broken here by 625. That's why rather than considering this as market structure shift, I considered this, because this was the last leg that price took out the liquidity. So now you understood, guys. And after this you can see that price went as we anticipated, guys. I will show you the results. Wait. So we entered in around somewhere around here, guys. After immediately this CMSS market structure shift happened somewhere around here, that is this 1.1355 we entered. No, not this guys, wait, when did I take that trade? Just a second. So yes guys, we entered in here after the immediately this MSS thing happened. We entered in here and our take profit was hit. So the one problem I made in my real account is I exited a little bit early. Why, I will explain you. So that was the only reason guys. The only reason I exited early is because our DXY hit our target a little bit earlier than Euro-USD first of all. So that was not the problem, because I knew this would again still go down, but the problem was a retracement guys. I had already moved my stop loss to break even in my real account. That's why I immediately exited. I would have made around $1,200 of profit, but I exited at like $700 or $800 profit guys, if I reckon it correctly. So I exited a little bit early because I was paranoid that price, I knew, I was 100% confident that price would reach to this low guys, this low which I marked between these two vertical lines. This was the low we anticipated, right? This was our drawn liquidity, but I exited a little bit earlier because DXY had already reached our drawn liquidity. Then too it was not a problem, but Euro-USD, I thought it was showing a little bit of retracement. That's why I had to exit like $400-500 earlier, and I was little bit paranoid. So stock market works like that guys. See, as you already know, it works on greed and fear. People always lose on either of two things, on either of these two emotions: greed to make more money or fear of losing money. I had that fear of losing money because I moved my stop loss to break even, and I was honestly tired guys. Honestly, it was taking too much long to reach out drawn liquidity, but I have to deal with these things as a trader. It's the most important thing. But finally the drawn liquidity has been reached on both the assets, and I'm quite happy guys. Even though I exited a little bit earlier, I'm still content with what profits I made. And thank you guys, this was the trade. Thank you.